Hello and welcome to the Monday night NASCAR Sim Racing League. This is our Xfinity Series for the round of 8 finale at Martinsville. Today's drivers will be going around this track for 250 laps, just on around 125 miles, so 126 miles. And we will see who moves on to next week's championship race at Phoenix. Currently, the drivers are qualifying. Sitting on pole as of now is Jeremy Brown, the 46 car, watching Mike McCombel running some extra practice laps, trying to see if his setup is good, and also runs more laps, some more practice to see him go around now. As he's not going to quite save it, he's going to nose it into the wall, and that's going to be the end of his extended practice session. Starts at 10 minutes to put down their best lap they can. They're given 2 laps to do it, but it gives some time. Maybe the track can change a little bit to be more beneficial for some drivers compared to others. See Ben and Allen entering pit road in that Detroit paint scheme. And the only other driver on track right now is Dennis Mickelson in the 41. We'll see what Mickelson can do on his second lap. Coming around turn number 4, Mickelson will end up still in well, it's not scoring Mickelson, so I wonder if he hit the wall. I don't see him on my ticker here. He's in the 41 car, and a couple drivers who haven't qualified yet, but I think he must hit the wall because I don't see anything for him. But he's running extra practice laps as some of these other drivers have. As you can just see how tight this half-mile paperclip is. Mickelson, he's going to be ending his little practice session as well. But you see Ben Allen, he's exploring the track. It looks like a little bit. He's going. I think he's just taking that car to the garage, maybe to the tech line. You know? Oh, he just took it to the hot dog stand. That's where he took it to. He's gonna order some food, some takeout. Wonder if he's gonna. Oh, there you go. I see him here now. Practice qualifying goes on for another 3 minutes or so. We'll see if anyone else comes out to qualify. Some cars that have not made laps. You got Steve Herring, John Wilco, Rich Jett. To them. As of now, it appears we're starting 20 cars, with the potential for 1 or 2 more to join in before the race gets started. 1 second there, I forgot to. Thing. So, as of now, Jeremy Brown is your pole setter. Put down a 19.05 second lap time. Actually, let me just show how much more time is left in practice. Well as, let me see if it will let me. There we go. Well, there we go. That's what we want to see. Jeremy Brown is on the pole right now with a 19.05 second lap time, followed closely by 0.05 of a second, the 17 of Jared Wishton. Zach Lindgren, one of the playoff drivers, is currently thirds. Ben Allen in the 15 is fourth. Sylvain Joly in the 08 is fifth. As of now, do have another minute for some things to change. Lap times are only in the 19-second realm, so someone can jump out very late and put down 1 or 2 laps. And after the last 2 weeks, Ben Allen in that 15, we saw him take that car to the hot dog stand for qualifying. He won at Las Vegas, which will put him automatically into the championship 4. Mike McConville, as we saw last week on the stream, won at Talladega. That's going to move him automatically into the round of 4. So the playoff drivers trying to still lock themselves in: Zach Lindgren, Sylvain Joly, Dennis Mickelson, Jared Wishton, Daniel Monahan, and Jeremy Brown. I want to see. And qualifying is now over, has now happened. The drivers will have a 5-minute warm-up practice session, get their last few adjustments done before the race gets started. I'm trying to see a car. Looks like Mike McConville is going to be one of the first car to leave pit road for the practice session in that Wawa number 8 machine. Other driver Steve Herring in the 98. Dick Hansen in the 99 is still on pit road. And we will see what happens. Dick Hansen now leaving his pit box, entering turn number 3. Drivers will get up to about 110, 120 miles an hour, and then slow down to 65 miles an hour for the corners. Mike McConville does run the fastest lap in the practice session as of now. We're going to see these drivers catch traffic. We got a pretty good spread of how fast some of these cars go. And right now we see Mike McConville with that 1932 in race trim. Nick Hansen's first lap's in 1992, so about 6 seconds, 6/10 of a second off or so. Steve Herring in the 98. See if I can find him. He's now back on pit road. He ran a 2089. But see the flames coming out of the exhaust pipes for some of these race cars as the drivers let off the gas, get on the brakes. Do one other thing here to try to see if I can increase the quality a little bit of the frames. I don't think we're quite to where I want. If I can do this real fast. We'll try this. I don't think it's gonna actually. Someone's going to let me know if they're up on the Twitch chat. It looks a little grainier for them, or if that's just on my side. Maybe it might just be the practice. I'm not quite sure. So, his YouTube looks like it's pretty good. So, someone's going to let me know on that side how it looks. Anyways, in practice now with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in practice, Jeremy Brown has put down a faster lap time than Mike McConville. Ethan Ball on track in the 96 car, runs up high, hits the wall. He's going to get out in front of Nick Hansen and drive away. Ben Allen is not on the track right now. Trent Curtis is in his pit box. He's not put down the lap time so far. Steve Herring still sitting on pit road after running a 20.8 second lap time. Some other information about the race today we haven't quite got to yet. Stage 1 will end after lap 60. Stage 2 will end after lap 120. There's 4 sets of tires for the event. 3 in the pits, 1 on the cars for qualifying. And as we said earlier, this is a 250 lap event. With the end of the warm-up session here, Jeremy Brown, it was the fastest car. You see Mike McConville cooking into the entrance of pit road. I don't think he would have got down to pit road speed. Good thing that was not under. As the time is now, drivers getting in their cars to start this 250 lap event. Some new paint schemes today. We got looks like Zach Lindgren and the Miami Dolphins paint scheme that looks really nice. I want to say it's a Detroit Pistons paint scheme. Ben Allen's run. I don't know basketball though, so I could be very, very wrong about that one. Going through the rest of the field right now. Let's see what else we can see that stands out. It looks like to me all the drivers are gridded for tonight's race. The IRS and pace car will eventually lead the grid to 2 pace laps. And then from there, the Irish pace car make the hard left-hand turn on the pit road. The field will have to go all the way through turns 3 and 4 and then go in the restart zone. Starting grid for tonight's race is as follows. Jeremy Brown in the 46 car will be on the inside pole. Jared Wish on the outside pole in the 17 car. Starting third in the 85 is the playoff driver, Zach Lindgren. Jared Wish also is a playoff driver. He is the one starting second. Ben Allen locked himself in at Vegas. He's starting 5th. Actually, starting 4th today's race. Sylvain Jolie starting 5th. Another playoff driver in the 08 car starting 5th. Packard, Trent Curtis, Brett Bennett, Nick Hansen, Chris Claude rounds out the top 10. Richard Pruitt, Ethan Ball, I'm running out of time here. Mike McCombo, Matt Mack, and Dan Morgan. Claude Furlan, John Wilco, Steve Herring round out your starting grid as the iRacing pace car makes a hard left-hand turn. Here goes the field. Being led by Jeremy Brown entering turn number 1. Clears Zach Lindgren and Jared Wishton. He gets out to about 5 car length gap or so. Zach Lindgren, one of those playoff drivers, also clears for second. Sylvain Jolie, another playoff driver on the inside Outside is Jared Wishton in the 17. Sylvain Jolie looks like he's going to be cleared this time by. He is. And that is the top 3 clear for position. Oh, his 17 hit the brakes. Going to allow the 15 to catch up, get on the outside of him. Ben Allen, he is really good at this track. We've seen him multiple times in this league. Drive up to the field, be competitive, and race up front. Sylvain Jolie's another driver. He got 3rd in the spring race here. We'll see how he does. Jared Wish on the inside. Bennett Allen on the outside. Bennett Allen's going to want to get in line. There's now 3 cars lined up to get past Bennett Allen. He cannot make this pass on the 17. Allen goes up. He's going to see if he can get a run on the 17. The 17 does clear, and Bennett's going to fall in line in the 5th position. Trent Curtis 6th, Brock Packard 7th, Brett Bennett 8th, under pressure from 99 of Nick Hansen. Looks like Nick had a checkup, so the 24 and the 96. That is a battle for 9th position. And Richard Pruitt, Ethan Ball 11th, Mike McConville 12th. Looks like Nick Hansen's going to go for a pass on. Correction, Nick Hansen's going to be passed by the 24 Richard Pruitt. Here comes the 96 on the inside of 999 as well. 96 drives in, 99 goes up, and the 99 falls to 12th, make that 13th position. It looks like Nick Hansen's just going to be letting some of these drivers by. Ben Allen now trying to put some pressure on Jarrett Wishton in the 17. There is the timing tower. And looking a little bit lower than the 17. He's going to try to drive it in there deeper, but it's not going to quite work out for the 17. Or correction, for the 15 this time by. He's going to keep trying that move, though. He's going to see if it's going to work every time. And once the 17 makes a little mistake, goes up just slightly up the track, the 15 is going to drive in there and take the spot. Ben Allen, about a quarter of a car length away that time from the 17's rear bumper. Our battle on track is for the 6th position between Trent Curtis and Brockton Packard. Packard in 49. Trent Curtis in the 13. About half a car length up in front of the 49 as the drivers are working on lap number 10 of 250. Here comes the 49 now. He drives down deep. Hits the, call it the curves, and the inside of turn 3 and 4. It looks like Trent just gave him the spot. He drove way up the track, and the 49 drives into the 6th position. Here's a pass now. Ben Allen's going to try to drive it in deep on the 17. He gets there, drifts slightly up. No contacts made. Ben Allen the 15 on the inside. Jared Wishton on the outside. Wishton going to let Bennett have the spot. Move Bennett Allen now into the 4th position. Top 5 is pretty much running the same since we came pretty much since the start of the race. The biggest mover in the wrong direction has been Chris Claude in the 17th position now. He's completing lap number 12. Chris has about 12 seconds. He's running about 12 seconds behind the leader here. As I do see lap traffic in front of this leader here, we're going to go on board with the 46. As Jeremy Brown leaves turn number 4, you're going to see 2 cars there. That's going to be lap traffic. So keep that in mind. Lap 17 or so is when he's going to catch them. And if we have a restart in the later laps, we'll see how that affects the drivers. As now you see the 15 going high on the 08 of Sylvain Jolie. Jolie drives in deep, drifts up, blocks the 15. Now the 15 is going to go low. Sylvain here's going to have the run, drives it in the turn number 1. The 15 drives in and is going to not quite get clear of the 08 this time by. He's going to drive it in deep again. As we already see the traffic, there's the 98 of Steve Herring going 1 lap down, staying out of the way for the leaders, keeping it respectful. And the 15, though, will move to the 3rd position. Got that pass done in turn number 3. Wow. leaders were maneuvering around the traffic. You see Matt Mackin, though, we saw him hit the wall out of turn number 2 the last time by himself. It's only about 30 car lengths ahead or so of the leader. He has picked the pace just a little bit as the leader's been getting closer to him. As I think this gap has slowly been closing up between the 46, 85, and the 15 now. About 0.6 of a second between all three of them. As the 85 is slowly... Oh, that was a huge wiggle for the 85. That's going to let Ben Allen pass him for sure. At least get underneath him. 85 got super loose out of turn 2. 15 just pounced and took the spot. Moved Ben Allen to the second position. I want to see that again. Although I don't know if it's going to show me that. I'm just going to have to back up and do it the old-fashioned way here because I don't even know. I'm going to be honest, I want to see that again, but it wasn't just something I can easily click on, so we're just going to move her on back. Watch this again on the onboard of the 85. He just got lit, the tires got loose, and that's going to allow the 15 to drive on by, and that's going to be huge. Or if the 85 was using a little bit more of those rear tires, and maybe burnt up the stuff a little too early. Maybe it was downshifting, burn up the tires a little more, because I know some of these drivers, they can downshift the third for a little while. You know, burn up the tires, also heats up the engine a little too much, and then they have to start using fourth only to keep the engine cool. But that is an option in case something needs to happen later on. Because now you see the 15, he has definitely closed down the 46. The last time by Ben Allen ran in 1965. Jeremy Brown in 1985 is about the same the last lap as well. So Jeremy Brown definitely has some traffic to contend with up in front and in his mirror as the 15 is going to drive it in. I thought he was going to make contact with 46, but he's definitely got slowed down faster than I expected. Keeps it clean so far. Field now working on lap 25 of 250. Oh, someone hit the outside wall. Not quite sure who that was. This top three stands half a second from Jeremy Brown and Zach Lindgren. Another 0.6 of a second further back is the Missouri Asobu Jolie. Pass for position for the 8th spot here. We see the 96 on the inside, the 49 on the outside. The 49 has some sort of damage. I don't know where that came from. See if we can eventually see that, but 49 is trying his best to stay out in front of the 96. 96 is going to fall into 9th. 49 is going to keep his spot in the 8th position. We see also Mike McCombo driving further up the track, down to pressure from the 41. I think he's just letting some of his cars by. He's not running a very competitive pace at the time. I think he's just trying to keep his car clean. Harder, faster than he is. So let it be for now. 46 now has caught the one of Matt Mackin. And now he's going to see how 46 gets by the one. If 46 makes a mistake, Ben Allen can be right there in no time at all. Here, it's going to be 5 cars in a row. Oh, all of which I thought, again, that was going to be it for the 46. One slowed down earlier than the 46 and the 15 both expected. This is going to be the 98 gets out of the way once again. There goes the 1. He gets out of the way. I think the 1 thought the last set of corners he was going to get destroyed. Lucky he did not at all. And everyone continues racing, driving for another lap. Now Ben Allen staying within that 0.3 of a second or so behind the 46. He's been here for about the last 10 laps or so as the field has completed half of stage number 1, now running lap 31 of 250. And lap 31 of 62 of the first stage, or correction, lap 31 of 60 of the first stage. Field now slowly catching the 10 of Chris Claude. You know, right at the bottom of your screen here is Ben Allen keeps driving in deep, and every time he's just waiting to see if the 46 makes a mistake. But it's not really costing Bennett on entry at all as he gets loose. He saves the car. Here comes the 85 of Zach Lindgren onto the inside. Lindgren's going to drive it in there. And Bennett's going to cede him the position again. I think he realizes it's going to cost them both too much time to race it out. And it's going to allow the 46 to get by the 10 as the 10 lets the 46 by, runs up the track. As Bennett just swings way out wide, hits the outside wall. He didn't lose that much space as now he drifts up high. Luckily, the 10 Chris Claude's also running high, a little bit uncompetitively trying to keep all the cars clean. He's not racing these cars for position at this point, so he might as well slow him by and let him hopefully race it out later on. And who knows, maybe those good favors add up at the end, and one of these cars will help him out if that's what it comes down to. Jeremy Brown, you're still your leader. You're your leader since the drop of the green flag now. On lap 36. Biggest mover is in the 41 car of Dennis Mickelson, up 8 positions. Will be 10th. See the 24 on pit lane. Not quite sure why. Maybe we'll see if we can get a report on that car. Down 9 positions, running 20 on pit road. Steve Herring down 2 laps. Chris Claude and Matt Macker only cars 1 lap down right now. Yellow were to come out. Chris Claude would be your free pass car, which is pretty big here. It may only be a half-mile track, but once you end up in the back there and you end up starting in the back, and then it just adds up to being faster for some drivers. Also allows more options later on if you end up being damaged. You hit for a lap and then take the free pass and then hit for a lap again. So if you want to try to not quite game the system, but allow yourselves the best chance at your damage fix and be competitive at the end. Now the Zach Lindgren is running behind Jeremy Brown. About the biggest gap we've really seen the whole race, about 0.4 of a second. The only times you've seen gaps bigger than that is when Zach Lindgren was battling Ben Allen, or either one of those 2 cars made a mistake. As now Lindgren's slowly catching back up to Jeremy Brown. Looking up ahead, we'll see if we can see any cars that this pack will catch up to. We see 1 or 2 on the backstretch there. That's going to be the 62 of John Wilco. John Wilco was running up front late at last week at Talladega before he was taking on a last lap wreck on the back straightaway. As man, Ben Allen had another huge moment in turns number 2 and 3. Now he drifts way back, loses about a second, and now under pressure from the 0-way to Sauvé and Jolie. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye, look over, and I see Bennett having the car turn the wrong direction towards the outside fence. I thought maybe there was a chance he was going to wreck the car. He saved it, but now is running 2 seconds behind the leader, still in the 3rd position. As you see again, Steve Herring respectfully letting these cars race it out. Like he knows at this point his car doesn't have the pace to compete. He's out here running laps. Got a battle here between Dan Morgan and John Wilco for the 15th position. Like Dan Morgan, maybe something happened in that car because John Wilco was behind there. There was a little bit of a battle, but now at this point John Wilco just drove away. Dan Morgan running in the 16th position now. Other battles on track. It's still pretty much this lead battle between the 46 and the 85. Is the closest battle we see on track. Another one we see here is Dennis Mickelson and Claude Furlan for 10th position. See how that plays out as the stage comes to a close. in about the next 12 to 13 laps. Traffic is starting to get a little heavier now for these cars. We looking up ahead on the onboard camera we have for Jeremy Brown. We see the 27 and the 62, and one more car up there just down in turns 3 and 4. That pink car, I believe that's going to be Mike McCon. I don't think it's going to be Mike McCon, but let's see who that's going to be. He's Steve Hamming. He's on pit road, entering his box. Maybe he has something he has to get fixed. Taking tires. Nah, I think there's gonna be a little more to that car than just taking tires. Pace wise, that car was off the pace from the beginning. His best lap of the event was a 19:39, so he had the pace, but then fell off. Maybe hit the wall and got the toe out of shape. Just been causing issues ever since. As now you see the 85 keeping that gap on the 46. As now the 46 starts catching up to these 27 and the 62. And the 46 has an interesting game with it. You can slow down a little bit and not catch as many lap cars, which can help you and slow you down at the same time. If you get stuck behind them, it slows you down. If they let you by and then slows down the car in front behind you that you're racing, it can, in theory, help you out. Or you can just drive fast and see what happens, but then you catch more lap cars with more chances of having an issue at this tight oval, into a wreck, cause issues later on, make some enemies that might not help you out later. So it's kind of a balance of, do you want to go as fast as possible and catch these cars? And I think with the 20 car field that we have here today, I don't think it's nearly as big of a deal as if we had a full field of 38. We're catching cars 10 laps in. But it's definitely something to still keep in mind as we are getting closer and closer to the end of the race. Richard Pruitt and Steve Herring both on pit road. As the 46, he tries driving down underneath the 27, can't make it stick. Washes up, nearly hits the 27, he saves it. Now the 27 is just going to let both these cars by, it looks like. You'll at least let the 46 by, and the 85 is going to be pretty close behind them. That almost is another big one for some of these leaders lapping lap cars here. Now the drivers are completing lap 56 of 150. Leader since the start has been Jeremy Brown. That's still the case. Now it looks like he's gonna not quite get the John Wilco, so as it runs right now, Dan Morgan will be your free pass at the stage in the next few laps or so. Jeremy Brown will be blocking Zach Lindgren from getting a valuable stage point, as both these cars are racing for a spot in the playoffs in the next round at Phoenix. As Jeremy Brown, one of our playoff drivers, as well as Zach Lindgren, trying to both point their way in. If either one of these drivers win tonight, that's going to guarantee themselves a spot next week. We'll see how this plays out. These cars are pretty much equal on pace, I have to imagine, if the 85 is just now a little bit faster. As now that these drivers are completing lap 60, it's going to be the final lap of stage number 1. Jeremy Brown is your leader, Zach Lindgren second, Sylvain Jolie, another playoff driver, third, Jared Wishton fourth, one of our playoff drivers, Brennan Allen, also playoff driver, running fifth. As you see, Jeremy Brown wins stage number 2, Zach Lindgren second, Sylvain Jolie third, Jared Wishton fourth, Ben Allen fifth, Trent Curtis, our first non-playoff driver, sixth, Brett Bennett seventh, Ethan Ball eighth, Dennis Mickelson ninth, another playoff driver, and Claude Ferland rounds out the drivers, picking up some stage points in the first stage. As we already have people on pit road, That was really fast from when the pace car caught the field to when they went down pit road. Here we go. Let's see what the 46 does. He's going to have the first box. We'll actually watch Zach Lundgren pit from the third pit stall from the exit. Let's see what both drivers do. Zach Lundgren, hard left-hand turn, stops in his box. Pretty much even. This should be pretty good. They're gonna drop the right sides and raise up the lefts. As the 85 takes off, there goes the 17. It looks like the 77 is gonna barely beat out the 46. Rich Jett with some strategy here, gained some spots. Just barely on the 46. Dan Morgan's gonna need to try to pit here. He's kind of stuck with some of these cars. We'll see where that puts him. Rich Jett, I don't know how he passed. How did he get out in front is what I want to know. I would imagine he took 2 tires. His last time on pit road, as he's going to pit again. Maybe it was a mistake. I think Rich Jett wanted to get that lap led, made a mistake. Because I was going to see how long he was on pit road for, but we don't have to worry about that anymore. Another car who had a fast pit stop was John Wilco in the 62. He moved up to the 10th position with an 8-second pit stop, as the field is got the one go signal from the iRacing pace car. On the front row is going to be Jeremy Brown and Zach Lindgren, Sylvain Jolie, Jared Wish, and Brett Bennett moving up a couple of positions. He's now in the 5th position. Ethan Ball 6th, Claude Ferdinand 7th, Nick Hansen 8th, Mike McConville 9th, John Wilco 10th, Dennis Mickelson 11th, Brockton Packard 12th, Trent Curtis 13th, then down all the way back down to 14th, and Rich Jett 15th. Field waiting for the 46 to go as he gets to that restart zone. You see it's in the orange box. There he goes, right in the middle of the zone. He's going to easily clear. Ooh, let's go watch that restart again. I don't want to say something happened, but let's get the onboard of that 46 car. We'll see how they play that. The rule in the league is you cannot change lanes before the start-finish line. And I think the 46, he had a huge jump, cleared the outside line. As we see the 62, he's jumped down the pit road. Something's wrong with that car. Oh, he mixes the entrance. He misses the entrance. He's going to fall way behind. This is going to cost him potentially a second lap. I don't know if he has a drive-through penalty. Let's see what the 62 does here. He tried to get down pit road. Completely was going too fast. Maybe he's gonna keep it going. Maybe he thought he had an issue and saved it. But going back to the conversation, the rule in the league is you cannot change lanes for the start-finish line. And the way I interpret the rule, the way I used to do it back when I did race control for the league many years ago at this point, was that is what we call changing lanes. That's pretty clear, as we have a car losing a lot of spots. This would be Claude Furlan, 43. Like McConville's 3 wide. Oh, there goes the 15. He saves it. The 49 is going to be in the fence, losing tons of positions. The car came out pit road, ended up being 3 wide. Some of these drivers didn't know it and cost the 49 a lot of positions. But as I was saying, you got to a huge jump. Let's look at this again from the onboard. I'm not quite sold that that was not changing lanes. And maybe I'm making something out of nothing. Let's see here before I even go on the conversation. Let's go on the onboard of the 85. It's a huge jump in. See, we're at the start-finish line there. And to me, that's an 85's lane. He completely committed to that lane. You see the 08 was in. And we're going to play it further. The 08 stays in that lane. And as we have a yellow, we had something happen as we were looking at. Looks like Dan Morgan's going to crash here. Let's see what happens. 27 goes in, hits the 13. He gets checked up. The 43 hits him and spins him around. Looks like there's a... Oh, he gets hit by the 1. Matt Mackin had issues early on. Look at that again. Looks like from an outside view. Look at that from the blimp cam, I think. You're going to see a checkup in turn 3. Everyone just kind of gets stacked up on the 99. 15 slows down, 8 slows down, the 13 slows down, 27 slows down, the 43 doesn't quite get slowed down, the according gets to 27. When you stop here, and the 1 just hits him. Matt Mack has not had a good good 2 races with that. We saw that happen a couple times at Talladega. Now, see if he had any chance of seeing this though. See the 27 out of the corner of his eye gets spun around. I mean, I don't know about that one. This is the second caution of the race on lap 67. Correction, lap 70 now. Got a couple of cars on pit road. We see Rich Dredd in the Godzilla 77 paint scheme. That is a clean looking paint scheme this week for Rich Jet. He always has some great paint schemes, and this one does not disappoint again. As like one of the drivers, this might be our only driver on pit road. Drivers are out of the event. That's going to be Steve Herring and Richard Pruitt. As the 77 has to stop, sure he's getting the signal that pit road, the exit of pit road is closed. You see the green light now. He's able to roll. Could have rolled all the way up to the yellow line if you wanted to. I think he just wanted to make sure it's safe. As he now exits pit road, and I thought he was going to enter again. He does not. Coming to the start-finish line now. Irish pace car gives the 1 to go signal by turning off the caution lights, and here is the field again at the restart. Starting first, Jeremy Brown the 46th, Zach Lindgren the 85th, so the Jolie 3rd, Jared Wishton 4th, Brett Bennett 5th, Ethan Ball 6th, Nick Hansen 7th, Ben Allen 8th, Trent Curtis 9th, and Mike McConville in the 10th position on the restart. The Irish pace car makes a hard left-hand turn. We'll see how Jeremy Brown does this restart here. Goes in the middle of the zone once again, does not quite clear the 85, stays in his lane, and drives in the turn number 1. Clears the 85. Now we see Zach Lindgren cleared for 2nd. Jared Wishton and Sylvain Jolie, the first battle we see on track now. So Jolie on the inside, Wishton on the outside. Wishton the 17th, trying to get a huge run down the front straightaway. He doesn't want to be stuck out here for too long, because as this battle goes on, there's going to be more cars that line up behind Sylvain Jolie and trying to get in by him as well. Jolie looks like it's going to be 17 going to clear Jolie. This is going to stack up that whole inside lane. We now see Brett Bennett in the 90 down the inside of the 08. 08 up top, the 90 down low. The 90 is going to unfortunately fall behind the 08 and is going to keep battling now with Bennett Allen in the 15. We saw him start pretty far back in the back pack on the stage restart. Now he's going to be moving up back up to the 5th position. Brett Bennett 6th. Looks like now the field is pretty much single filed out. The battle for the lead is back. Again, that's about 0.3 of a second. That's all it's been the whole race between Jeremy Brown and Zach Lindgren. Here this continues out. Trent Curtis and the 43 battling it out now for 10th position. Curtis in the 13. Like he runs a little bit faster. His last lap time was exactly on par with Claude Ferlin. Got a battle here for call it 7th position between the 96 and the 99. 96 of Ethan Ball on the outside. 99 Nick Hansen on the inside. Nick Hansen drives it in. And the inside's pretty much going to have an advantage here as long as you stay clean. But sometimes you can do something magical on the outside and drive by him, especially if the person on the inside misses their spot, hits the curb on the inside, trying to get as much speed as they can. The 99 is going to drift a little far up. It's going to push the 96 even further up the track, and that's going to pretty much allow the 99 to clear the 96 in this corner. So see if that happens. As he can not quite get clear, he's going to try one more time. I think he's going to have it this time by. Maybe not. 99 a little slower on the brake than the 96. The 96, it's another great exit as well, which is just keeping him in this battle. Now the 96 pulls up in front in the middle of the corner. You don't see that too often here at Martinsville. That's going to allow this battle to continue on for another couple more laps. Because now you just see Brett Bennett and the 90 just drive away from this pack. That's the only downside to this battle. When they're like this is see Mike McConville in the 8. He wants to get by this battle. 96 looks like it's going to be the best chance for Nick Hansen he can. Mike McConville goes up top. And I think no one really has the advantage. I'm trying to see who's going to have a good advantage here. And I just don't see it. I mean, you see the 96 up top, 99 down low. 96 is going to get another great jump on the outside. He's going to outbrake the 99, which is helping out a lot. We'll see this happen again. Here we go. 96 is going to outbrake the 99. Not quite that time. 99 got a little bit better of a braking zone. He's going to roll the corner better than the 99 and exit the same from the 96. He's going to keep battling out, I think. If something happens, you see McConville almost running the 96 up further track, and that's going to allow the 99 to get clear. Here comes McConville on the inside, 96 on the outside. 96 drives it up high again. He's going to, at this point, just be racing McConville. McConville pushing him up the track. That's going to allow McConville to have a way better entrance in turn number 1 than 96 had. But I think McConville is being slowed by the 99 as well. See what happens in the turns 3 and 4 here. McConville down low. He puts the ball up high. Now you see McConville get a little tap from the 13. Trying to see if maybe the 13 can wash McConville up the track a little bit, make it 3 wide, and the 13 of Trent Curtis can drive past all these cars. As the yellow is out, we have one car spun around. That's going to be Brett Bennett in the 90. That is not an ideal position for that car. The exit of turn 2. He should be able to go this time as Chris Claude passes him. You see the pace car. Looks like the 90 is going to get out barely. My guess is he's going to get loose and spin it out on his own. There was no one around him entering turn 1. And he's going to start wheel hopping, gets up to the marbles, and just lights up the tires and spins it around. We see it here time and time again. Luckily for him, he doesn't have that many at-faults in the league, as now we do have pit stops. Rich Jett on pit road in the Godzilla car. Let's see what he does here. As stops in his pit box, we'll see what type of service he gets. He gets right side tires. I wonder what type of shenanigans he's going to try to pull here. These drivers are only given 3 sets of tires in the pits, so he might try to take tires here and then stay out the stage. He tried doing something weird at the start, in the middle of stage 1, at the end of that stage, under that yellow, and I didn't quite catch what he was trying to do. As now I see Rich Jett, he's already off pit road, so he just took tires. So he's going to do some sort of pit strategy, I think, after stage 2. Staying out, maybe trap a couple cars to lap down or so. We'll see how that works out for him. Brockton Packard in the 16 now goes a lap down. There's something wrong with the 49. I didn't see what happened to him. He didn't have any issues in that last yellow, so I wonder if he had a issue later on. This says Chris Claude had an issue under yellow. I don't know how reputable that is. I think as of now he's doing okay. I'm going to say there's not a whole lot of merit to that. My apologies. 10 team is now the Irish pace car turns the lights off, gives the 1 to go signal. Field will be led once again by the 46 Jeremy Brown, Zach Lindgren on the outside. Jared Wishton 3rd, Bennett Allen 4th, Sylvain Jolie 5th, Nick Hansen 6th, Mike McConville 7th, Ethan Ball 8th, Trent Curtis 9th, Claude Fernland 10th, John Wilco 11th, Nicholson 12th, Brett Bennett 13th, Bush Claude 14th, and Rich Jett rounds out your lead lap cars in 15th position. field is at the mercy of the 46. Wants to get to the restart zone. The iRacing pace car's already made the hard left-hand turn. Out of turn number 4, here they go. See what the 46 takes off this time, really early in the zone. And he did it again. He did it again. He doesn't quite... He clears the pack and then drifts up into the outside row. We'll see if maybe competitors caught on to it that time. I'm honestly surprised for running this league as long as I have that nobody else has spoke up and complained about it. We'll see if someone else does it this time by, because normally drivers are pretty good at picking up on that. But we'll see. The 8 car of Mike McConville in the 6th position, passing the 99 of Nick Hansen. Can clear him pretty easily now, as this battle again between the 46 and the 85 hasn't stopped. It's still going. We see a battle between Claude Furland and Dennis Mickelson on the 41 on the inside. Claude on the outside in the 43. 43 drifts up. Here comes the 41. A little bit better of a run. The 41's in the clear for the 11th position. Top 3 right now: Jeremy Brown, Zach Lindgren, Bennett Allen. As now he has made his way back up from the middle of the pack at the end of stage 1. He's pretty much made his way up to 3rd, and now he's trying to get 2nd. Right on the back bumper of the 85 that last time. Drifts up, runs up high. He gets up high to the 85. He's going to try to get a better exit. Not quite that time by. We'll see what 15 does here. Trying to get some spots for the end of stage number 2 in about 20 laps or so. The 15 up to the top. 17 about 5 or 6 car lengths behind him, so there's not really a whole lot of penalty as of now. 15 drives it on the outside on the 85. Huge run for the 15. He's going to exit. I don't know if his MNN Allen has some new tires. Hits on the same. Hit on the same lap as all these drivers. 15 looks like he is a completely different car. Oh, as the 46 had an issue. The 46 had an issue. He's slow. Jeremy Brown went from 1st. Now he's 4th. Now he's being 5th now. All from the exit of turn number 4. Something happened to the 46. We'll go back to that here. Because now he's battling for the 4th position. Keep that in your notepads. Lap 200 or 101. Jeremy Brown out of turn 4 has an issue. See the 17 go high. That's going to slow down the 46 even more. Put Sylvain Joly now in the 3rd position. That's where he finished in the spring. So he does have good finishes here in the past. 17 of Jared Wish been trying to make something happen. As the 46 is in the wall again. Something happened to the 46. We'll go back, like I said, we'll go back and see it, but that's going to put him in the pack now. And he's still battling out. 46 from 1st to 6th, battling Nick Hansen for the 6th position. Nick Hansen might take away. We'll put Jeremy Brown to 6th. This is what the field wanted to see if they wanted to have a chance to win this race. Because for a while, looked at the 46, no one's going to be able to get by him. Now the 46 drives up and clears the 99. We got a battle here between the 08 and the 8. Mike McConville up top. 08 to Sylvain Joly on the bottom, and he's going to clear him. That's going to put Zach Lindgren in the 85 first, Ben Allen 2nd, Jerry Wishton 3rd, Sylvain Joly 4th, Mike McConville 5th. We're going to watch this here. The 46 gets loose, saves it, and just loses all his momentum he had on track. And that's going to be a huge issue for the 46 to make up his now 4.5 seconds back and falling back. Zach Lindgren, now he has no one in front of him, has just drove away from Ben Allen now. Make that 3/4 of a second. So from top spot to 2nd on lap 108. We got a battle here on track between Ethan Ball and the 77 and Rich Jen, the Godzilla car. We saw him put tires on, about 30 lap newer tires than everyone else, and you just see the 77 is going to drive right on by for the 8th position. Closest battle on track currently is the 8 of Michael Conville and the 46 of Jeremy Brown. Brown hungry to get back up to that top spot. Just drifted up high, got a little bit of a wheel hop, it looked like, and Dave that had a huge save, but now, like I said, back here in the pack in the 6th position. The battle here on track between the 62 and the 41. The 62 of John Loco up top, 41 of Dennis Mickelson on the bottom. Mickelson drives it in, clears the 62. Now the 62 is battling the 43 of Claude Ferlin. 62 still up top. Ferlin on the inside. He was just going to let both those two cars by. 62 way up in the marbles, and he's going to get passed by the 90. He almost had a huge issue, but he saved it. It was slowly starting to catch up to Jared Wishton in the 17 again. Wishton kind of drove out up front, got about a 0.4 of a second lead or so on the cars in front of him, and now kind of gone back up to about half a second. It goes down to about third. We'll see if Sylvain Joly can close up that gap again on Jared Wishton in the next 5 laps for the end of the stage number 2 and try to gain one more position. 4 points. Go back to this battle here. See the 08 drives way up the track. Something happened to the 08 Sylvain Joly. He will not gain positions on track. He's going to lose 2 positions to Rich Jet and Michael Conville and put him in to the 6th position. What happened way back there? See Jeremy Brown and Ethan Ball and Nick Hansen all hit the wall. Out to number 2. Looks like one to follow the other. None of those cars had huge damage though, and they're going to Rich Jet out of turn number 2, trying to get past Mike McConville here for the 4th position. Rich Jet on that different strategy. We saw him pail lap 91. The only other car pailing lap 91 is Brockton Packard, and he is 1 lap down in the 17th position. So I don't mind trying to do something here. You might not have the car to win, as it is, but you know, maybe that I try to do something different. I don't completely hate that strategy. Competitors in this league know I'm one of the few that do it all the time and hope for something to happen. With now we're on the last lap of stage number 2. The field being led by Zach Lindgren currently. Ben Allen 2nd, Jared Wishton 3rd, Rich Jet 4th, Mike McConville 5th, Sylvain Joly 6th. As we see one's car go around, that's going to be Jeremy Brown again. Has an issue, gets hit multiple times. There goes the 13 around. And what an unraveling of a completely great run we had from the 46. Jeremy Brown leading the pack, gets loose, gets caught back in the pack. And we'll have to watch that again, but Jeremy Brown has not had a good last 60 laps in stage number 2. We see the 99 drive it in deep, pushes up top, up high. 46 spins around and then gets caught up in a wreck with the 13. Man, we have cars on pit road, but we're going to keep continuing to watch this wreck here. Watch this again. The 99 drives it in, trying to get one last spot. And just pushes up, hits the 46. 96 hits him. That's going to have some bad damage in the 96, and the 13 gets spun out. Could be a lot worse for the 46. We'll see if he ends up losing some spots on pit road. A longer lap time now. Jared Wishton, the 17, getting his service. There goes the 85, Ben and Allen, both of which those cars will be good. The 17 is going to end up Third is Rich Jet pits again. Jeremy Brown, he's still on pit road, losing more positions. Just got those left side tires on now. He was further back in the pack. And now make that a 19-second pit stop for Jeremy Brown. So he definitely took some damage repairs there. See, most of these other drivers have 14 pit stops. Another car back on pit road is going to be the one of Matt Mack. I believe he would have been the free pass car this time by. Let's see what Matt Mackin does. Stops in his pit box. 2, 3, 4. Watch that time. Okay, looks like he's taking right sides. Now you put some left sides in that car. And gonna come out looking like 16th, as long as Brackton Packer doesn't quite get to him before the pit road exit, which I will believe he is safe for that. As the Irish pace car has the lights turned off, we'll start stage number 3 here on lap 125 of 250. Leading the pack now, 85 is Zach Lindgren and Bennett Allen second. As the Irish pace car makes a hard left-hand turn. Field now at the mercy of the 85 for the first time all race. We'll see where the 85 goes. We've seen 46 jump early and in the middle of the zone. We'll see if the 85 does something different as he goes right at the middle of the zone as well. He does not jump out in front of the 15. And he will clear. Bennett Allen will clear. 17, Jared Wishton almost cleared the 77. He's going to have to quit one more corner. Now he clears the 0 weight on the inside of the 77 now. 77 up top. The 0 weight on the bottom. The 0 weight down low. Battling for the 4th position. We saw Sylvain Joly had a slight issue near the end of stage number 2. He has now made his way back up to the 4th position as he's almost clear of the 77. He's going to wait one more corner. There he goes, clear of the 77 now. Who's now battling the 8 of Mike McConville. McConville down low, the 77 to jet up high. He's going to run a higher entry than we've seen a lot of these cars racing for the outside positions. As now he's going to clear the 8 this time. Put Rich Jet in the 5th position. Mike McConville 6th. Bennett Allen just ran the fastest lap of the race in 1918. Never mind. Zach Lindgren went fastest in the 1915. So the trading fastest laps. And now his track's gotten cooler. As see if I can get this fixed. There we go. My apologies for saying Zach Lindgren is on pit road. He is most definitely on track now, leading the race. Has about a half-second lead on Bennett Allen. Jared Wishton 3rd, Sylvain Joly 4th. Battle on track here for the 12th position between Ethan Ball and Nick Hansen. Nick Hansen, we saw help bring out that yellow earlier on the end stage number 2. Ethan Ball with some damage we see there on the 96 when he ended up making contact with the 13. His 99 is going to clear the 96 for position. The 96 now battling the 62. Never mind, that looks like that's going to be the 17 of Brockton Packard, who is 1 lap down, so that is not for position. Put Ethan Ball 13th position. My apologies. As Mike McConville has an issue. Mike McConville had an issue. He saved it. Hell of a save. I thought he was going to lose the car. He lost a lot of positions, but he almost did what we saw Brett Bennett do early in the race. Pretty lip tires got loose. And we'll see a lot of drivers in this series, especially in the Cup Series. They'll loop it around and hit that inside wall, and the day would be over. Not that it quite matters for Mike McConville. He is locked in for next week, but it's definitely good to have some momentum moving in to Phoenix. Speaking of momentum, we'll see Bennett Allen now. He's running in the 2nd position, trying to get another win before going to Phoenix. Trying to get as much momentum as he possibly can. As now he's gained about a 1/10 of a second or so on Zach Lindgren in the last 3 or 4 laps. We'll see if that continues on throughout the race. The laps are just now ticking down. As the caution is out, I'm trying to see who that is. Looks like it might be Claude Fernland, and Brett Bennett again spun around out of that turn number 2. And And let's see who brought out the yellow this time. We're going to go on board the blimp cam here. Who we got? We got the 90 and the 43. The 90 enters the corner. And the 43 just gasses it up. Hits the 90. The 43 is going to get spun around. 90 is going to get spun around. The rest of these cars are going to save it. Both these cars are going to try to get it spun around. 90's going to have to wait for 27 as he keeps the car off the fence. Go on board again with the 43 through that incident. I don't really think the 43 got that much damage. She just barely got by the 90. 90's going to drive. The 43 is going to drive in. The 90, I think he goes to dime in the corner. The 43 gets hit, pushed into the wreck. And that's Martinsville. Trent Curtis is on pit road to getting some. I think he's getting some repairs done. He's been on pit road for the last 24 seconds. 4 tires is roughly 14. If you have a bad spot, the box, here goes the rest of the field by. Brockton Packard is on pit road, and looks like he would have been the wave around the time. John Wilco leaving his box. Trent Curtis in the 13 still on pit road, as might put him 1 lap down at this point here. There goes more cars. There goes quite a few cars. And it is safe to say he did go 1 lap down. I can officially confirm that. And Curtis goes 1 lap down. Brockton Packard still. Well, this timing is not quite right. Trent Curtis is 1 lap down. Packard is on the lead lap again. Wilco and Bennett are also on the lead lap. Jack Lindgren on the 85 leading the field once again to the restart zone as the Irish pace car makes a hard left-hand turn. We'll see where he goes in the restart zone. He went about the middle of the zone the last time, right between the 2 words. As this time he goes right at the R of the restart zone, he's going to clear the 15 easily in the turn number 1. 15 now battling the 17 for the second position. 17 down low, Bennett Allen up top. He's going to clear the 17 now. 08's going to have the run on Garrett Wishton. Wishton cleared for third. Jolie and the 46 Jeremy Brown battling it out for the 4th position. Brown inside, Jolie on the outside. Brown trying to make something happen. See what happens. You see the 9 Nick Hansen hit the outside wall. He keeps it going though as Solveig Jolie now battles the 77 Rich Jet for the 5th position. Jet down low as he hits the 08, makes the 08 go out wide. Rich Jet in the 77 should clear the 08 this time by in 3 and 4, and he does. Jolie now battling the 99 for 6th. Jolie gets loose, comes down, almost makes contact with the 99 Nick Hansen. It's going to allow the 08 to clear them. Close to the Allen track is the one for the lead now between 85 and the 15. Ben Allen about 0.2 of a second behind the 85, which does not mean a whole lot here at Martinsville. It's pretty much on his rear bumper. The 85 has a little bit wider entry than Bennett Allen did. Bennett has a better run out of turn number 2. Bennett goes low. Bennett looks low. He's going to get there into turn number 3. Ben Allen on the inside. Lindgren on the outside. Lindgren trying to make something happen, trying to keep that top spot, but Ben Allen is in the preferred position here at the paperclip. Allen about halfway clear of the 85 and turn number 3. 85, we'll see where he goes as now Ben Allen will clear for the top spot once again as the yellow is back out. Like there was an issue with Nick Hansen in the 99. He's going to still be rolling out on track, so we'll see. Nick Hansen gets loose out of turn number 2. Drives into turn 3. Oh, he did what we saw the 46 do, but man, he backed it into the corner. He got loose. And watch this again from his onboard view. He's going to have that brake bias set way too far in the wrong direction. He's going to hit the brakes and the car. Going to lock up a tire and back into the fence. And that's not a good feeling at all. There's not a whole lot of places to go. There's also this thing Chris Cloud might have had an issue on their yellow. I thought I'd save it for him earlier. We'll see. Maybe it's just going to be this checkup here. Yeah, I think that's what's going to be. Mike McConville on pit road from the 9th position. Where McConville goes. Other cars on pit road: Matt Mack and Brockton Packard, Brett Bennett, Nick Hansen, Ethan Ball, Dan Morgan. Mike is going to stop in his box. Not take any tires. So I wonder if this is strictly a damage thing for Mike McConville here. At this point. Now he's past 26-second mark, so I have to imagine that's what it is. We see Dan Morgan leaving his box. That was a 26-second stop himself. So he is getting some damage fixed. We still see that front nose damage he has there. McConville will go a lap down now to the field. This is not what McConville wanted to see entering the penultimate, or in the penultimate race of the season, 2025 season this time. See Bennett Allen in the 15, Irish pitch marks a hard left-hand turn. See Bennett Allen goes. He has a tendency to go very early or very late in the restart zone. We'll see where he goes this time by. The first restart we've seen for him today. Bennett Allen takes off late. We saw that check up the whole field. The 46 tried to time it out perfectly, completely, just did not get it right. And the 15 completely allowed, really stacks up that inside and the outside row. The 85 tried to time it right too, and both of which didn't get it right. And it is the 15's right to keep the pack slow until you get to the very end, the second orange line. And that's really has got the pack single file already, as we see. One car spun around. That's going to be the one. He's still stopped there. He's out. Our racing pace car will finally come out now as the pack comes around the one. I don't think he's going to quite get there going fast enough for it to let him by. Let's see. I think the one will lose a lap here. Yeah, it looks like he's trapped behind the 17. Oh, there he goes. Nope, there he does not go. We'll see what happened with the one. The one and the 96 make contact, and then you see the 27 and the 13 both drive into him. Trent Curtis not had a good night. See the one spinning back around again. Let's see what happened. Let's come on board with the 13. We see him now on pit road. Trent Curtis got the tow to the iRacing pit lane. So I guess that means going to mean his night pretty much done for at least contending for the win. He's seen the one come down the track and just nowhere to go for the 13. Pops the hood up and there he goes. Ethan Ball's on pit road. He's on his entry to this box. We'll see what he ends up doing here. My guess is some of these cars have also damage from that backup we see happen. And this happened a couple times this year. It hasn't happened nearly as many as it has in the past, I think. Daytona is one that comes to mind. Phoenix comes to mind where we had a car go right at the end of the restart zone and everyone expected otherwise. That caused the huge wreck. Happened the next week as well, if I recall correctly. So it's happened earlier in the year, but it has not really happened lately, as Ethan Ball has taken 27 seconds of repairs, Mike Conville 23, Matt Mackin 35, and Dan Morgan 24, all of which are going to stay on their lap. I believe it's 3 laps down. As the lights are out on the iRacing pace car once again. Field being led by the 15 of Ben and Allen. Pack is slowly going to be smaller and smaller. We only see now 8 rows of 2 cars. We get 16 cars lined up for the restart. Ben Allen, we saw him go very late this last time by. We'll see where he goes now. Again, really late in the zone. I think, honestly, that's working great for him. As you see, he gets a huge gap in the turn number 1. And 46 tried to time it again, had to hit the brakes, and now he's going to fall back to 3rd. And that's going to keep working out for him as long as they keep trying to time up his restarts and not get it right. Now, Ben Allen up to already a 4/10 of a second lead. We have a battle here between the 41, and well, it was a battle between the 41 and the 77. The 77 is going to be slow now. Keeps his position now, battle between John Wilco and the 90 of Brett Bennett. Bennett on the inside, the 62 of Wilco dropping spots. There goes Bennett. There goes Furlan. And before he knows it, there goes Wilco battling the 49 of Brockton Packard for the 10th position. Good run, Steve Packard, get back up to the top 10. They're having some issues earlier on. There goes McConville now. So something is not right for the 62 at all. He's dropping all sorts of spots. Way off from his best lap time of 1945, now running a 2070 the last time back. Battle on track here between Sylvain Jolie and Dennis Mickelson. Jolie on the inside, Mickelson on the outside in the 41. Mickelson not in the preferred position. He's going to cede the 5th spot to Dennis Mickelson. Just about keeps it going. I thought he was going to, Sylvain was going to get cleared. Not quite this time by, as the 41 drives up alongside him again. Jolie cannot clear him out of turn number 4. Here he's going to try it once again. Looks like he's going to finally be clear in the turn number 1. As the Mickelson drives underneath Jolie. What a great move for the 41. He's going to get just to the inside of the 0-8. Nothing Jolie could do. Oh, as Jolie gets loose, saves it. That's going to slow him way down. He goes down the block to 77, trying to get past him. That's going to move Sylvain Jolie down to the 6th position, as we got a car spinning around somewhere. Where is that? Who was that? Trying to find who it was. Oh, it's going to be Mike McConville. He's going to have an issue. He saved it, but we're going to have to back it up a little bit further than that. Mike McConville. Going to have the same brake bias issue we talked about before. Some of these drivers going to light up, have a tire locked up, spin around the car, and back into the fence. That's going to be not a small fix for McConville's team. Dennis Mickelson from the 6th position. Now he's on pit road. You can see what he does here. On lap 163 at 250. We've had a couple more yellows now. Lap number 8, or caution number 8 of the event. Remember, 2 of this was the stage cautions as well. As Mickelson doesn't pit. So he is now out of his box. Coming out in the 10th position, there goes Ethan Ball with an 8-second lap pit stop time. I think he must have took right sides or something along those lines. Brett Bennett with a 24-second pit stop. Brockton Packard, 25-second pit stop. As there you go, we see Mike McConville lose another lap under yellow. As he keeps himself on the lead lap, he's going to have a speeding penalty. He's going to have to start last car on the inside lane. Another car on pit road once again is Matt Mack, and he's been on pit road for the last 2 minutes and 17 seconds and still on pit road. We saw him get caught in that last wreck, and that's going to be damages stemming from that. More retirements. Steve. Correction. We're going to have Nick Hansen's retirement as well as Trent Curtis. We'll leave 16 cars in the running. We'll see if Matt Madigan can fix that car up and keep running the laps. Gary and pace car turns off the lights. Field once again being led by Brendan Allen. We'll see where he goes this time. He's shown his hand twice now. Gone late and late. No one's had anything for him going late either time. See if Zach Lindgren's caught on and trying to do something different. We'll see if Jeremy Brown can do something different because he's tried to jump in it twice now and like I said, didn't work out. Here comes Allen. Man, he did it again. Jeremy Brown gets right up to the bumper right at the beginning of the zone, and Bennett waits for him and has to hit the brakes, and then he takes off. Going to clear Bennett for first. Lindgren now going to contend with Brown for second. Lindgren clears. Brown clears for third. Wishton clears for fourth. Goldie clears for fifth, and now the first battle on tracks between Claude Ferland and John Wilco. Wilco up top. Ferland down low. Ferland in the preserved position is going to not quite get clear of Wilco this time by. Wilco's going to drive it up around the outside of the track now. Ferland has a better drive off, at least in the middle of the corner. 77 drives in deep. Goes way up the track into the asphalt. That's going to allow the 43 to have an advantage. And move Wilco back down to the 7th position now. Out here between Chris Claude, Brockton Packard, and the 96 of Ethan Ball. Botting the inside, Packard on the outside. Packard trying to make something happen here. Trying to see what he can do. Packard continuing on. Clears the 10 for the 12th position. Out here between the 96 Ethan Ball and the 90 of Brett Bennett. Bennett has about a car length and a half advantage over the 96 currently. The 96 will start backing off here as 62 is really slow John Wilco. He's kind of been letting cars by these last couple restarts. I wonder if this has something to do with that again, because now he's running another competitive pacer. I wonder if he's just trying to save his car. I wonder if maybe he's having issues with those incident limit in the league where you have 17 incidents at what iRacing determines to be incidents. There's a chance you can end up having a drive-through. Maybe Wilco's just trying to keep his car clean and stay out of trouble with that. Brendan has a 0.6 of a second gap over Zach Lindgren. And the closest battle on the track is going to be the 77 Rich Jet. Up 10 positions. Tied for the biggest mover. It's going to be a four-way tie for the biggest mover so far between Claude Ferland, Rich Jet, Dennis Mickelson, and John Wilco. All of which are also running in order. There goes someone around. That's going to be the 96 of Ethan Ball. I heard it in the background, and sure enough, there he went. And I think he's going to lock the tires and have the brake bias set up wrong. We'll see. Whoa. That snapped on him. Normally it's kind of more like a lazy spin. And that's why it was fast. The 49 got him. 49 Brockton Packard ran into the back of the 96, spun him around. That's going to be another bad day for the 96. Just got a lot of that damage fixed, and he's going to be back down pit road with even more. Jeremy Brown, the 46, is on pit road, taking the right side tires. Pretty much tied with a 17 on. Lifting up and lowering the car. We'll see who gets out first. There goes the 17. There goes the 46, and the 46 is going to be getting damage repaired, I think. I thought there was maybe a chance the 46 could get some spots on pit road. That will not be the case today. As now the way the pit strategy has it set up. Top 5 cars back from Ben Allen, the Rich Jet. All have pit last in a lap of 121. And from there, we got 136, 162, 162, 121 with Chris Claude. 174 all the way back to Mike McConville in the 14th position. Matt Mackin's still on pit road. Been on pit road for the last 7.5 minutes now. And at this point is almost certainly out of contending for any meaningful position in today's contest, as we are now with 74 laps to go this time by. This says that Dan Morgan had an issue on pit on yellow. Let's see, I don't think he had an issue. Oh. Dan Morgan stops. Oh, he had to let someone by, I think. He had to let some cars by, and that's that. So the field's going to be led by Ben Allen as the Irish pace car already made the hard left-hand turn to pit road. Ben Allen gone late, and now he's going to go late again because the 08 of Sylvain Joly tried to jump it, and it didn't work. There goes the 85. He's going to be pretty much cleared for second as well. That's going to move Sylvain now up to third. Claude Furlan, the teammates, going to be fourth. Rich Jett, fifth. And he's really the first car battling anyone else. And behind this is 62 of John Wilco, Brett Bennett in the 90. So the 17 trying to make it 3 wide. That's not going to quite work out. He's going to back it down and try to get by at a later time. 62 goes way high. He saves it. He almost lost it. There's going to be some cars behind him that's going to have to avoid him. Everyone does. And now the battle for 6th position is now between Brett Bennett and the 17 of Wishton. Wishton just drives around Brett Bennett. And Bennett knows that there was not anything really to race for. You see Wilco slow again. It doesn't look how the car's handling of the restart. I don't know. It's kind of been weird to see that happen. Anyways, you see now the 90 under pressure from the 46 of Jeremy Brown. Brown needs to get going to stay on pace with the 17. 17 down low of Rich Jett. Rich up top, 17 down low. Jett's going to let him by. Now there's going to be one car between this battle here between 17 and the 46. The 17 now also trying to get past the 43 as the 46 tries to get past the 77. 46 is also going to get low underneath the 43. That's going to be huge. Which Jett had a huge issue. He had to be really slow. That's going to move him back a couple spots as well. Now I see the 17 going up high of the 08. The 08 that has nothing there he can do. See what the 46 does. He's going to follow him up top as well. Both these cars are trying to race back up there. Now Richton back to 4th. Brown back up to 5th. Nicholson also on that strategy. Up to 6th as well. 08 barely gets by there without making contact with 41. Wishton now about half a second behind. Or correction, Wishton about half a second in front of Jeremy Brown. Keep an eye on that now. We see the battle between Wilco and the 10 of Chris Claude. Claude falling back to the 14th position. Brockton Packard now on the 49 making a move on Brett Bennett. Bennett on the outside, Packard on the inside. Packard trying to make something happen. He is going to clear the 90 for the 8th position now. Brett Bennett under pressure from the 96 for 9th. Ball to the inside, drives around the 90, and the 90 falls to 10th. On board with the 15 car here. We're going to watch him turn a couple of laps around this half-mile Fort Oval. Been around for a very long time. We saw it here first. Zach Lindgren falls down to the 4th position as now Jared Wishton battling now with Bennett Allen for the top spot. Well, closely behind by Jeremy Brown in the 3rd position, trying to take that top spot back on lap 197 of 250. Ethan Ball battling the 43 right now. Ball driving in. Both those cars have bright red. Whoa, see that car behind, looks like Rocky Packard almost lost it. It's going to happen a couple times where they just kind of have a lazy spin on their own. You see now Ball at the inside, Furlan on the outside. Furlan will let him have the spot for 7th. See what this gap looks like. It looks like it's down to about a third of a second or so, and it's slowly decreasing here. See how 53 lap older tires fare at the end of the races. These cars are catching lap traffic in front of them. We go on board with Ben Allen. See the 27 of Dan Morgan, who is multiple laps down. You see Morgan, he's actually just coming down pit road. Going to get out of the way. 17 now, the closest he's been in a very long time, especially since he's got those tires on. See what happens here is yellows have calmed down a little bit. What some of these cars want to see. As 17 is just going to take his time. He has 50 laps to make this pass now. As Jeremy Brown is starting to fall off the pack now, about 1 second behind. Wishton 1.3 seconds behind Bennett Allen. And Nicholson is still pretty far behind Lindgren, so he still has a long way to catch up to this pack and battling for a top spot. Bennett Allen first. Last lap time was a 1985. Jared Wishton was running a 1977. To kind of put that into perspective, how it's been a slow catch. Oh, as Bennett Allen gets loose, Bennett Allen wrecks both of them. Bennett Allen spins out. Someone take the 17 out. There goes the 46. Everyone has had damage. Try to find Jeremy Brown. He has hood damage too. What just happened to Bennett Allen? Just took out the top 3 contenders. And the 46, he's blowing up. The 46 is blowing up. There goes his motor, which was going to put the 85 back in the lead. What a disaster for Bennett Allen. And the top 3 drivers, all of which I think we're going to have a pretty good shot at winning it. Now, none of them are going to be able to win it. Bennett Allen, we've talked about all race, how some of these drivers get loose out of the corner, and it's going to cause all of them issues. And Bennett Allen's just... Let's watch the whole 3 and 4. And drive it in. He's going to get tight. He's going to turn the wheel down and light up the tires on the gas, which is going to get him spinning. He's going to turn right to overcorrect, hits the wall, and without even knowing it, I'm trying to find him. It's going to be the 17 of Jared Wishon. He's going to have nowhere to go. Bennett's going to turn down, and both of those cars are going to make contact, which is going to take 46 out of the race as well. What a disastrous race for Jeremy Brown. I thought right when his race was going the right direction, doesn't matter. It's taken out on lap 202, and it's going to leave this race wide open for someone completely new. Dennis Mickelson in the lead. Ethan Ball second. I can't believe that's what just happened. Let's watch this from Jeremy Brown's perspective. He's pretty far back here, too. You see Bennett, he's going to turn the wheel down and light up the tires. There he goes, makes the overcorrection. There, both those cars go down now. And the 17 just gets spit out, and nowhere for Jeremy Brown to go. He tried to gas it up to get out of the way, get out of there. And what a disaster. I don't even know what to say. This race is 250 laps for a reason. And unfortunately, Bennett Allen, Jeremy Brown, and Jared Wishon's truck ran out 42 laps early. Rich Jett now on pit road from the 5th position. We'll see what he does here. Bennett Allen now down a couple laps. Jared Wishon down laps. All those cars down laps. Rich Jett, I think he's just going to let cars by. It looks like. Now he is exiting pit road as new leader. It's going to be Dennis Mickelson in the 41. We'll see where he goes in the restart zone. Bennett Allen had a great success going late. As there goes the 41. He goes late. Ethan Ball is not going to get clear of the 85. 85 down low. Ball up top. Ball. Here he ends up. He's going to end up third. Not quite clear for third though, because here comes Brett Bennett on the inside for third. Brett Bennett going to drive it in there deep. Going to wash up top. It's going to slow the 96 up, which is going to get both the 90 and the 96 clear though. As you see Lindgren, he's going to battle for the 85 position. As someone is not happy with someone doing burnouts in their pit box. Here comes the 41. The 41 controlling the field with the 85. He also led some laps earlier in the race. He's going to try to get back up to that top spot in that Miami Dolphins 85 car. I don't know. If you want to have luck, I don't think the luck of the Miami Dolphins is what you're going to want to have right now. The 85's up top. He's going to pass the 41, or at least attempt to pass the 41. The 85, he's going to get clear. Move Zach Lindgren up to the top spot. 41 of Mickelson now up top. He's going to get under pressure from the 90 of Brett Bennett. Bennett drives in, pushes the 41 up top. Not going to quite get clear in the turn number 1. There's a pretty good shot out of turn number 2. There he goes. There goes the 41 now battling the 08, who's going to also have a huge run on the 48. There we go. 08 now passing the 41. The 41 up top still. There goes the 43 down low. And Dennis Mickelson from the lead. Now he's just falling back. He is also on some of the oldest tires of the pack on lap. Has tires from lap 174. Most of these cars have tires from 205. There goes the 43. Here comes the 49 now on the inside. Mickelson can just not get low. There goes, you're going to be hit the 62. The 62 is just going to drive underneath him too at this point. Here they go. There go, the 62 gets hit. He's going to save it. What a great save by Wilco again. As someone just blew up the motor. I don't think it's going to be anyone that matters. I think it's going to be 46 at this point, but that engine we already knew was going to expire. Nicholson finally gets low. He ends up in the 7th position as of now. Big car is still in pit road. That's going to be Mackin, Brown, and Wishton. And now Lindgren is enjoying a 1.5 second lead over Brett Bennett. Now I'm going to talk about the race implications from that wreck. Think about the playoff implications from that wreck. And look at it here. Jeremy Brown was not a playoff driver today, but he had a great run. Jared Wishon, however, needed a win to lock himself in, or at least have good points. He had some points from the stages, but he's going to lose when most of the points are paid out, which is now, at the end of a lap 250. He's going to most likely end up in the 14th position. Van Allen, he's back on pit road now. He also didn't really need a win. He's in the same boat as Mike McConville, but it would have been nice to come out of here with a win. And some momentum for Phoenix, which it doesn't really race like Martinsville, but it has some elements that are the same that you'd like to kind of have figured out going into the race. Allen track here now between the 49 and the 43. The 43 going up top, 49 trying to get underneath him. He does. This is going to be a battle for the 5th position. Actually, the 4th position is now the 49. Drifts up the track. Washed the 43 up just a little bit. And the 49 is going to have the 43 cleared in the turn number 3. Brockton Packard now trying to catch back up to Sylvain Jolie in the 08 car. Well, we will see what happens here between these two cars. At this point, I think we have to take a look at the playoff standings again. The 49 does catch up to the rear bumper, the 08. There goes 49 looking to do something. Not quite there. 08's just going to run his lap. There's the 49 again. He's going to try to run a little higher. He's going to cut down, try to get a run inside the 08. He's going to not quite get there again. He looked like he was going to have a chance and then got loose out of turn 4. Had to let out the gas for a second. That gave the 08 just enough of a chance to run away. 49 again, way up top. Gonna turn left, try to get underneath the 08. Looks like he's gonna have it this time. Oh, as the 90 loses again. The 90 loses again from second. He's gonna back it up into the fence with 25 to go. The yellow's gonna come back out. And that is going to park the 90 for a weekend. For the championship race, the 90, that's going to be the second self-spin. And for the league, we'll not be seeing him in the championship race at Phoenix next week. It's unfortunate. Harmless self-spin. No one else is caught up. But the rules are the rules now, and that is not what Zach Lindgren wanted to see. Zach Lindgren wanted this race to go green. The end. He had a huge lead. That he was enjoying, and now we're gonna see some people try and do something. Here comes Mickelson. Saw him lose a lot of spots on that last run. Let's see what he can do on new tires now. New tires have mattered here quite a bit compared to what we have seen in the past. And there goes the rights. Here comes the lefts. There he goes, passing Jet. Mackin doesn't matter. Here he goes past the ball. He's going to end up in the 9th position, leaving his box. There goes Jet. He's going to end up 10th. Ball still on pit road. He's been on pit road for the last 25 seconds now. That will most likely put him on the lead lap with 11th. Dan Morgan now still 1 lap down. So slowly making up some spots. As looks like he was the free pass machine. 11 cars in the lead lap now. Jack Lindgren, Sylvain Joly, Broxton Packard, Claude Ferland, Mike McConville, Brett Bennett, Chris Claude, John Wilco, Dennis Mickelson, Rich Jett, and Ethan Ball. We have Dan Morgan, who's 1 lap down. Ben Allen is still on pit road. And Irish pace car does have the lights turned off, indicating it's going to go. Field's going to take the green flag with 20 laps to go, including the 11th yellow of the event. There we go. There's 85 on the inside, Sylvain Joly on the outside. See where the 85 goes. He went late last time. See where he goes this time. He's going to go right in the middle of the restart zone. Going to get him up to a pretty good gap on the 08 as well. There goes the 49. Drives it underneath the 08. Can't quite get there in time. As now, it almost looked like it was going to be 3 wide for third. Not going to be the case. 49 is going to clear for third. 43 is going to clear for fourth. Michael Combo fifth. Next battle, here goes to the 90 on the outside of Mickelson. He's just losing spots at this point. Mickelson on 22-lap newer tires. We'll see if that makes a difference here in the last 19 laps or so of this race. Mickelson is in the 41. He has to make some spots now, though. There he goes on the inside of a combo for fifth. He has about 2/10 of a second to catch on the 43 for fourth. As the 49 runs up high, it's going to slow both of them down. There goes the 43, getting past from the 41 now. 41 to the inside, 43 on the outside. 43 not going to have the grip. He's going to lose the spot to Dennis Mickelson now, passing and try to pass Brockton Packard to the inside. Goes the 41, 41 out the third. Here he comes. We'll see what his lap times look like now. He's not passing anyone. Jack Lindgren in open space. Last lap was a 19:46. Keep that in mind. While passing cars, Mickelson ran a 19:23 at 2/10 faster. And he has 1.1 seconds to make up. But he has 16 laps to do it. I think he can. Last lap time again, still being slowed down a little bit by Sylvain Joly. Mickelson ran a 10th faster. As now Mickelson's going to drive underneath the 08. Outbrakes him. There he goes. Right on the curb. Easily passing the 08 per second. 08 falls to third. Here comes Mickelson. See what he does here. Runs right on that curb. Has all the grip he wants now. He's catch up to Lindgren. 6/10 back. 5.5 back. At the line, he's going to be half a second back, running 3/10 faster that last time by. Here he comes again. Look at the time on the scoring tower. 4/10 of a second. 3.5 tenths. 3/10. There he's there. He's there at this point now. Mickelson needs the win to make sure he's locked in for next week. Mickelson trying to make something happen. Lindgren, who also wants to lock himself in. Yeah, disregard that. I don't think that Lindgren wants to lock himself in the 85. 11 to go this time by. These are 2 playoff cars. We got to remember about Sylvain Joly in third. If something happens between these 2 cars, we see a wreck for the lead at this point. Here comes the 41 down to the inside, though. 41 washes up, makes the 85 run high. 41, drag race down the front stretch. This might be potential we can see later on in 10 laps. 41 now to the inside, though. He is going to not quite get clear of the 85 this time by. His entered turns 3 and 4. but now they are clear. They put the 41 of Dennis Mickelson on pit strategy to the top spot. Lindgren second, trying to make a pass on the outside. Can't make something quite happen yet. Broxton Packard fourth. Mike McConville fifth. Rich Jett sixth. Battle further back between John Wilco and Ethan Ball for the 8th position. We'll see, can Lindgren get there though? Lindgren trying to make something happen. Wants to make sure he's guaranteed his way into Phoenix and doesn't have to come down to some points. Stages and today's end of race points combined. And I'm going to be honest, Lindgren's not going away. Mickelson caught up to him pretty easily. I'm surprised that Lindgren is still able to keep up as much as he has so far, unless he's just trying to overdrive the car at this point, trying to make something happen. It's almost easier to catch a car that you can see off your windshield than it is, man, Sylvain almost lost the car in turn number 4. Then it was almost to run hot laps by yourself. He wants to see what their car is doing and just kind of predict what your car is going to do. Kind of a weird phenomenon. There you go. Now you see the 41 slowly starting to drive away from the 85. I think the 85 tires is just burnt up at this point now. The battle further back between Mike McConville and Brockton Packard. Packard on the inside, McConville let him by. And that gets McConville to the 6th position. 5 to go this time by. Make it 4 to go at the line. Mickelson driving away from Lindgren. Lindgren has about half a second to make up in 4 laps. What can Lindgren do here? Mickelson on 22 lap newer tires. Broke through the field very convincingly too. And just took the lead and really hasn't looked back at this point. You see Lindgren trying to make something happen. He hits the outside wall at turn number 4. It's going to slow him down even more. Gap now down to 7/10 of a second. I think that was Lindgren's last shot. He tried something different, lost the car. See if he makes one more shot at it now. 8/10 back this time by. Got a battle further back here between Wilco and Ethan Ball. Ball running the normal line. Wilco trying to make something happen now. 2 to go. Mickelson out of turn 2. Drives it in. See nothing wrong. That car looks like. New tires here have made this race a lot of fun to watch. Mickelson now through 1 and 2 for the final time onto the back straightaway. Lindgren 9/10 of a second back. Fortunately, it's too far back to make anything happen. Is now Mickelson exits turn number 4 for the final time, and Mickelson will win at Martinsville. Zach Lindgren falls short, ending second. Sylvain Joly third. Rich Jett fourth. Brockton Packard fifth. Mike McConville 6th, Claude Furlan 7th, Ethan Ball 8th, John Wilco 9th, Brett Bennett 10th, and Chris Claude will end up in 11th. What a race. That was actually a lot of fun to watch. Martinsville races sometimes, they can get pretty boring. This league, they're never boring. As here we are, Mickelson is going to Phoenix. Only one thing on his mind: finishing ahead of 3 other cars. We already know Brendan Allen and Mike McConville are going to be the 2 of them. We'll see what Chris Claude, we have some friends of Mickelson. They're all going to burn down, I think it looks like, together. Oh, there comes the 49 as well. Try and mix it in there. Oh, there goes someone's motor. Sure hope they didn't need these motors for Phoenix, because they don't exist anymore. Let's pull up Dennis Mickelson. See here first before we pull up Mickelson. We're gonna be able to hear him. Pull up Dennis Mickelson, the race winner. Dennis, you hear me?
I gotcha.
So Dennis, I know at one point it wasn't looking too good. You had Ben Allen, Jared Wishton, and Jeremy Brown pretty much running away with it the whole race. Lap 202 comes by, and all three of them are no longer running in the race. Then it's down to you and Zach Lindgren. Tell me what went through your mind for that last pit strategy there. I know you pit about 22 laps later than Zach, try to get some new tires on the car.
Yeah, after I saw Bennett, Brown, and Wishon all crash, I knew the door was open, and basically, I mean, everybody in here is tough, but I knew the toughest competition was going to be Lindgren, so I had saved a set of tires earlier. I didn't pit for stage 2, and I decided that I didn't think I'd beat him heads up, so I thought I would pray to the racing gods and save that set and hope there was a caution a little bit later, and everything fell my way.
So you drove through the field. I don't know. Do you know where you restarted on that last restart there?
Ninth, I believe. I know I was on the inside. I'm pretty sure it was ninth.
Restarted ninth. You drove through the field fairly quickly. You got to Lindgren, past him. And from there, it looked like Lindgren almost wasn't able to. Lindgren kept it close. Was that just you trying to back down, make sure you had the car for the end, or that was Lindgren just trying to push out for everything he had at that point?
I think it's a combination of everything. I didn't want to take myself out. I got a little excited, and my left leg was having a hard time staying steady, so my braking was pretty sporadic. I couldn't control my braking points correctly, and yeah, Lindgren said that he really wanted to win a clock, so he was pushing hard to win the race himself.
And I know you all had 4 of you down there doing burnout, so sure hope you didn't need those motors for Phoenix. I don't think they're going to be in working condition after those burnouts.
No, we'll have some fresh motors from TCR ready to go for Phoenix.
Maybe we might have some more insider info that I don't know quite yet. I know it's going to be you, Bennett, and McConville. But do you know who the 4th driver is going to be for the playoffs or for the championship race yet?
It has to be Lindgren. He was ahead of all of us on points and finished second. I know he had good stages, so I would bet money that he's the 4th.
All right, I know you would know more than I do, so thank you very much. Is there anyone else you want to thank for the win? Teammates, sponsors, friends, family.
Just thank everyone at TCR and you for the broadcast. It was a great race.
It was great to watch. Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you.
Now we're going to be pulling up here the 2nd place finisher, Zach Lindgren. Driver number 85. What a race. Between you battling early, coming back up through the field after pretty much the top 3 contenders majority of the day took themselves out. So what went through your mind after lap 202 and Bennett, Wishton, and Brown all were no longer able to run the race?
I mean, I hated it for everybody that was involved in it, because 2 of those guys were really vying for a place at Phoenix, and they had a killer strategy at the time. So I hated seeing those 2 guys go out. I mean, they were fast all night. Jeremy was fast. Jared was fast. Bennett was fast. So I hated seeing those 3 go out like that. And after the fact, I was just mad of trying to hit my marks as best as I could. I thought I thought there was no more fresh tires after the fact. I thought everybody had taken their tires after that, so I thought I'd just hit my marks and call it good. And yeah, Mickelson still had a set laying, so I was trying to hold him off as best as I could, and there's just nothing I could do there. But no, after that 202 incident, I was hurt, honestly. I wanted to see one of those guys get up there and drive themselves into Phoenix. To just yeah, I was more hurt more than anything.
So we saw drivers, going back to that incident, we saw drivers all day get loose out of turn 4. We've seen it multiple times throughout the years. It almost seemed like today was worse than I've seen it in. I don't know if it's ever been this bad in this league for people getting loose out of turn 4. And was that, do you think, the drivers and the setups, or do you think that was just the way the track conditions were, a combination of all the above?
I think it's just a combination of all the above. It seemed like there was a lot of speed in the track, and with a lot of speed at Martinsville, you got to turn the car a lot more, and you're in the throttle a lot more, especially coming out of the corner. There was a couple times where I slipped a little bit out of 4, not to the extent of spinning the car out, just a little slip here and there, but you could also run different lines out of 4. You can try to straight line it, carry a lot of speed, but that still, that still brings a factor of getting loose out of a corner, or having just a little bit more wheel spin more than anybody else, and that carrying into it. So I think it's just a factor of everything. There's just a lot of speed in the track. The setups were really glued to it, so you could run it a lot quicker, and it's a lot easier to break traction. So like I said, it's just a combination of everything put together. It was really sketchy into 1, and it was really sketchy out of 4, just because, again, just the speed that you carry. So I think it's just a combination of everything.
I know Dennis said that you almost certainly were going to be the driver who made it on points today, going into Phoenix. So what's your, I don't know if you want to share it at least, what's your plans for Phoenix? Are you going to have to, I know you at the end of the day you want to win, but you have 3 other great drivers that you're going to be contending against now, McConville, Bennett, and Mickelson. So what's your plans going into Phoenix and try to end up winning the championship?
Honestly, just not change anything. If I were to try to practice as much as I could, or practice more than I usually do, or try different things throughout the week, try different races, whatever it may be, it's kind of sends yourself into panic mode. Honestly, it's just a matter of doing what I usually do every week, practice when I usually do, practice for how long I usually do, try to find a line that I like, or try to find braking zones that I like, or something that kind of puts me around that category of speed. And then honestly, these races are so unpredictable when it comes down to it. We've seen a lot of people, just hold on to tires till the last second and be able to make up time with it right there at the end. So honestly, for the race, just practice a line that I feel like is going to be good for me, and just kind of just do what I usually do. Don't try to do anything out of the ordinary, and then when the race comes around, just kind of roll with the punches, put ourselves in good positions to where if the punches are thrown, we're in a good position to counter. So yeah, I wanted to make it in on a win. That would have been cool, but it makes it not even better that I made it in on points, but it's good to know that I had that points buffer to be able to put myself in that way. So now it's just on to Phoenix. Now it's just a matter of running as clean of a race as I can, and hoping that we've got the speed to bring it home.
Lastly, is there any teammates, sponsors, friends, anyone you want to thank for the great run at Phoenix, or great run to get you into Phoenix today?
Yeah, again, I want to give a shout out to both Jared and Jeremy. They were in a good spot. It looked like I didn't really see what happened. I just want to give a shout out to them. They had, if we went green, they had the race winning strategy. Either Jared was going to put himself in on a win, or Jeremy was going to put himself in on points. So a shout out to them. Give a shout out to my 2 other teammates, Nathan and Walker. Nathan's not here, I believe, on work duty, and Walker's also not here because he, I believe, is in the process of becoming a father. So that's really cool to hear, and hopefully everything's going well in that camp. So a huge shout out to them. Huge shout out to NASCAR Diecast fans and Ford and the Miami Dolphins for being on the car, especially this week. Huge shout out to them. You up here on the booth dedicating your time to the end of the season. I do enjoy going back and watching it. Chris and everybody that puts this league on. It's a really fun league. It's something I look forward to on a Monday, which there isn't a lot that I look forward to on a Monday. So I got to give a shout out to him for giving us something to look forward to. That's all. That's all I got for right now, buddy.
All right, thank you, Zach.
Yeah, buddy.
And with that, we're going to go through the final results for today's race. Winner today, we already talked to him, Dennis Mickelson in the 41, Zach Lindgren second. Sylvain Jolie finished third. Rich Jett and Brock Packard finished out the top 5. Mike McConville, Claude Ferlin, Ethan Ball, John Wilco, Brett Bennett rounds out your top 10. Chris Claude is the last car on the lead lap in 11th. Dan Morgan finishes 1 lap down in 12th. Bennett Allen finishes 37 laps down in 13th. Jared Wishon, 14th place down, 40 laps down. Jeremy Brown finishes 15th, 48 laps down. Matt Mackin finishes 93 laps down in 16th position. Trent Curtis finishes 101 laps down in the 17th position. Nick Hansen finishes 105 laps down in the 18th position. Lastly, Steve Herring finishes 19th, 106 laps down, and Richard Pruitt finishes 20th, rounding out the field, 225 laps down. Thank you all for watching. That'll do it for us at Martinsville. Be the same time at Phoenix. As long as all goes well. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, and we'll see you at Phoenix.